signed an MOU with the AIFF, to work together for the upliftment of sports. The players coming from the different corners of the country, uh, taste the opportunity to play at the you know, world-class infrastructure provided by the Odisha government will only help them, go back to their respective states and urge their respective government, why not on the infrastructure? If Odisha can do it, why not us? These are the kind of encouragement which one can get out of uh, Odisha government, who is doing a commendable job when it comes to promotion of sports, not only football. It's the other sports as well, which they are doing. I mean, they're helping them grow.
And now we are approaching the business end of the calendar year. Your expectation from the new season, would you prefer watching a home and away format for the Hero Indian Women's League as well, like we have in the Hero I League and the Hero ISL?
See, the current season of the IWL proves the Women's League, the IWL is here to stay. The participating clubs from all across the country guarantees that IWL will only get bigger. But ideally, I would love to see the IWL played on a home and away format. But having said that, we have to accept that flying from, let's say, flying from Goa to Manipur to play a match there, and flying back to Mumbai for another match is like, flying not only the players but officials, 30 odd people is expensive. So it may not be financially viable at this point of time, but we are slowly moving towards that. So I see in a couple of years' time, maybe we see Gokulam going to, traveling to Imphal for a match against one of the top team of Manipur, then to Odisha. I mean, the female football fans in the Northeast also would like so, Achimpong coming to, Northeast, and the likes of, I mean, the Indian stars coming to maybe Arunachal Pradesh or to Mizoram or maybe for that matter Kolkata. We all want to see the stars. Why not home and away? That will take time, but slowly we are going towards that direction.
Your thoughts on PIFA Sports Club, at the side from Maharashtra, another team like Mata Rukmani. What are the inspirational factors you think the reason behind such teams coming up?
A young team playing at the IWL for the first time. I do not really know much about the profile of the PIFA, but it's a premier Indian football academy. They have a men's team as well as women's team, which is very very important for the growth of football in the country. Because many of the major clubs in Indian football, I mean, only a men's team, neglecting. I will use the word neglecting the women's side of the sports. But PIFA is doing a great job. Not only that they have a men's team, they have a women's team as well. So this kind of team coming into the IWL, they may not be a champions this time, but they have shown that with constant effort, even a young team like PIFA can compete at the IWL.
What has been the development of football in recent years in the Northeast?
See, no. When it comes to Northeast, football is the number one out here. Uh, if you count the number of players, I do not have the stats with me. The representation of Manipur is the highest if you take a single state at the ISL. If I'm not mistaken, this season it was followed. Last season it was followed by Bengal, and earlier it was Mizoram, Manipur, or Manipur, Mizoram, number one and number two. A small state with a very thin population. Uh, if they can produce this kind of players, it shows that I mean the Northeast has a huge potential when it comes to football. Look at the I League. Manipur they have Nera as well as Tra, and I as well FC from Mizoram. Previously we have the likes of Shillong, Lajong, Royal Waindo, Arhima, Rangdajit. They played I League from Shillong. If you look at the number of players in ESL, I do not have the stats with me, but I believe that Shillong Lajong might have the biggest number of products. when it comes to players moving out from their academy or from their clubs. So it shows that notice has a huge potential. Women's football to women's football. Manipur, I can use this word, I think, are the permanent champions of, in India, senior women's football championship. And then they, in fact, were the first team. I mean, it's up from Manipur, were the first team to win the IWL as well. So it shows that, Notice has a huge potential, but we just cannot say that we have the potential because the other teams or the other states are also developing. Let Goa develop, let Kerala develop, let Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, for that matter, the Chhattisgarh earlier. So let the states from all parts of the country develop. Then we will be able to see India's ranking at the FIFA going higher. Not only the men's team, even the women's team. So we need to work together.
And your take on the participation of the Mizo players in the Hero Indian Women's League this season? We saw Lalnoon Siami and Sangi play for PIFA Sports Club.
In PIFA, there are six Mizo players, in fact, not only the Sami and Lalu Siami, but of course they were playing regularly. Have three Grace, uh, another Elizabeth, and Mopadi playing for Setu.
Yep.
I mean, two of them are the main players, in fact. So, there are Mizo players who are slowly progressing. But football is one area in which we really need to improve as a state. We have produced one or two India international players and a few junior international players. But if the men's, the Mizo boys and men can represent the country and play the ISL and become why not the women, I mean, when the Mizo women do it. So this season, IWL is could be a game changer for I mean, Mizu girls as well because I think I have mentioned in the previous session about the performance of the Mizoram women's team at the senior national women championship at the beginning of this year. They reached the I mean, they reached the semifinals for the first time, narrowly lost to Railways on penalties. So it shows that they have a potential. So the cream of the players, in fact, they were signed by the IWL club. So nine players are, playing in the IWL. This is by far the biggest representation for the IWL.
What could be the next logical step from here on taken by the All India Football Federation for the betterment of the game in the country?
See, my take on this is like, why not make a mandatory for the ISL team to have their own, I mean, women. This could transform, the way the whole country look at women's football. Because, having said, having said that, the women's team ranking at the FIFA is higher than the men's, but people really do not know who the women stars are. Most people, even the so-called football fan, do not, follow Indian women's football. They are a men's football fan, not really a football fan when you do not follow your own women's league. So uh, I would love to see the AIFF or FSDL for that matter to make it mandatory that all ISL teams should have their own women's team. You just imagine East Bengal playing against ATK Mohun Bagan, in the Indian Women's League, the Kolkata Derby Women's League. That could be a game changer altogether.
Exactly.
So if the AIFF or whoever is in charge, maybe the FSDL, make it mandatory that ISL should have their women's team. That could, I will use the word, transform the women's team. I mean, the women's football in the country.
What are the plans awaiting in the bucket list of Mizoram Football Association regarding women's football in the future?
2 seasons back, before, in fact, 3 seasons back, before the start of the COVID, we made it mandatory that all the 8 district football associations should have at least one uh, competition, women's competition in the calendar year that we will follow it in the year. I mean, in the years to come, we are going to have our annual general body meeting at the end of this month. And come next season, as I said earlier, we will be restarting the Mizoram Women's League again and concentrate on inter-district championships where we will spot the players to represent the state at the various the IFF national level competitions. So these are the areas in which we will improve. I mean, we will concentrate on and grassroots, of course. This is very, very important. We have to catch them young. It is difficult, to. I mean, it is difficult for the young girls, uh, to see a playing time, to see a space for them to what do we say to show skill. I mean, to train their skill, to hone, to make themselves a better player because we generally do not provide them a platform at a young age for girls. We will work on that side as well.
Talking about the top goal scorers in the Hero Indian Women's League, as you all know, Bala Devi, she is the all-time top goal scorer with 35 goals. Any player from the present batch, do you think, who could go closer to her or probably break her record in the future?
Bala Devi, she's a player who can play at the European League, So she is one, she's one in a billion as of now. Uh, but if you look at the stats, Sabina Bandari, that girl from Nepal, when she came to in Indian Women's League, you know, she was scoring freely. You can say that you do not need somebody coming from Africa or Europe or for that matter and North America or South America to perform here in the IWL. Our neighboring country, Nepal, they produce Bandari, who scored lots of goals for Colaba. In the last edition of the I mean IWL. So now if you look at the goal scorer, the forward from Setu, Sandhya. Sandhya, she has been scoring lots of goals for Setu. And another young striker from Gokulam, Ratan Baladevi, she could catch. Grace Dungmei is another striker,
Yeah,
who has the potential to go all the way. And not to mention Anju Tamang, Anju has been scoring, quite a few goals. And I would love to see that girl, what's her name? Manisha Kalyan. Even though she's not a
yeah.
out and out striking midfielder, but one of the best talents in the country. So Bala David record may stay for a few years, but records are there for to be broken. So why not? In years to come, we might see a women goal scorer scoring 40 goals. You never know.
Do you think the teams which have a very strong base of national players are having an upper hand in the Hero IWL as far as the results are concerned?
Uh, yes, I have to admit that because as we spoke earlier, we have mentioned lack of opportunities for the women's player to to train and to play competitive matches. The ones who are called up for the national, I mean, national camp, they are the lucky ones because they have the opportunity to play. I mean, to train from January to December and giving kind of exposure trip. We talk about a good opponent, a stronger opponent. They've played against lots of strong opponents. That only helped them to grow. So, in the future also, I could see that, uh, if one has that advantage of playing for the national team, that will only help their football clubs.
Well, before I end this, my last question is to you. A lot of fans are eagerly waiting to know this. Since the last couple of seasons, due to the pandemic, we didn't had the Mizoram Premier League. For the upcoming season, when can we expect the Mizoram Premier League to kickstart from?
We are planning to restart the Mizoram Premier League after Independence Day. Traditionally, we have this Independence Day Cup. Of course, the final is played on 15th of August, which is a traditional season opener for us. Even though the season starts in June, we have a few, uh, training kind of training competitions, but the real competition starts with the Independence Day Cup. In the previous years, we invited a few teams from I League teams from outside as well, and that ends on the 15th of August. So 2 weeks after that, we generally start the Premier League. So if we could get the right sponsor this coming season, we are hopefully hopeful that we will be able to start the Mizoram Premier League, if not on the end of by the end of August, but definitely by the first half of September, we will kickstart the Mizoram Premier League again. Because I mean, the fans they are deprived of competitive football for a long time, so they're eager to get back on the ground.
Well, that brings us to the end of our pre-match show. Thank you very much, Mr. Hammer, for giving your valuable time and talking to us. And now we'll go back to the Kalinga
Pleasure is
Stadium,
mine.
where live action coming up your way. Well, that 9-1 win that Odisha Sports registered against Sirvodem Sports Club seems a thing of the past now. This side has won a couple of games to rise into the top five. We saw PIFA Sports Club lose a couple of nights ago, which featured five of the six teams, and now it is time for the fifth versus seventh as PIFA Sports Club take on Odisha Sports, the newcomers, who can go into the top four of the table in a fairy tale fashion, and Odisha Sports can increase their point to 10 if they get the 3. The table can turn around once more today. Well, PIFA Sports Club has been appointed to run the football program at NSS Hillspring International School for the first time ever in the school of footballing history. That all teams that participated in the MSSA International Football Tournament, that is the boys under 10, 12, 14 and 16, all reached the quarterfinals, and the girls under 16 team were Mumbai City DSO winners. Further, the under 14 girls and boys were the semi-finalists of the Milind Deora South Mumbai Football Tournament. Back in 28 and 29, the Maharashtra State Girls under 14 team came second in the All India Football Federation's National Football Festival, while the Maharashtra under 14 boys came third in the 54th National School. Both were coached by Nirvan Shah, as Natasha Marchant and Hussein Vahanti both represented the India under 14 girls and under 13 boys respectively at the AFC club competition. Well, the head coach Nirvan Shah spoke to us ahead of this game. Let's hear from him.
Sports Odisha is the home team. They are a well prepared team, so it's going to be a very difficult match, but the girls will accept this challenge.
And how is the mood in the dressing room ahead of the fifth match?
The girls are excited as usual. They are raring to go, so we hope to pick up a lot of points.
Thank you. And
now let's get into the team news of PIFA. 4 changes to the starting 11 that played against Gokulam Kerala Football Club, and the back 4 remains the same, and they must be hurting to get back on the pitch to set the things right. A quick start will surely help, but that they must stop conceding goals, as Supriya is making an appearance, of course, for the opposition, but a clean sheet for Sashmita is what must be important and absolutely up there in the list of things to do. It is a 4-4-3, 4-3-3, and Nirvan Shah has the unenviable task to rally his troops after a loss against Gokulam Kerala, and that has left his team rooted at the bottom of the table. It is important for the strikers to learn from missed chances, and Shubhadra Sahu and Pyari must do exactly that, and she must bury the ghost of that miss in the last game, and the best way to do that is to get a goal today. And decent bench for PIFA as well. Lalnu Siami and Muriel Adam, Maui, all available. And the growth of Odisha as a sports hub or the sports capital did not happen overnight, but a strong effort was made over a period of 7 to 8 years. The state government, under the leadership of Patnaik, gave priority to sports sectors in the year 2019. It franchised its old football team, Odisha FC, for the Hero ISL, and at the time the state felt it's necessary to have a world-class football stadium. And the sports hostels is being strengthened to make training available to the masses. A state-level sports meet is organized every year to promote traditional sports of Odisha. The 9-1 win against Sirvodem Sports Club brought Odisha Sports back on track, and the second victory after win on the opening game against ARA. Gitanjali Khuntia expressed her thoughts ahead of this game. We saw the glimpses of what Odisha Sports' new players can do. This is the Odisha lineup, and they welcome another one today in Supriya. The other two, Sumitra and Jasoda, all starts against a team which they troubled few in the past. Satyabati was an ever-present first name on the sheet kind of player and continues to lead the lines. Puri earlier scored a brace against Sirvadan Sports Club. Well, this team can cause enough trouble for PIFA. Gitanjali going with a 4-3-3 as well. It is a win that Odisha Sports and Gitanjali Khuntia badly need, and that win played in the last game remains the highlight of the season for them, and a lot of praiseworthy performances individually for Satyabati. With all the hustle and bustle all over the pitch, she started confidently but yet to convert those half chances into goals, but she snatched a few of them in the past. That says she is quite the handful. A win for the 5th place Odisha Sports will take them into the top 3 tonight, and they are on 7 points. Can go to 10 with a win. If PIFA manages to win, it will take them above Indian Arrows to 6th. For Gitanjali Khuntia, she has Sangeeta Das, Soni Behra and Joshina Lakra on the bench to be called upon. The match officials, the referee for today's game is Ranjita Devi. She is going to be assisted by Akansha Soni and Zoming Liana Fanai. The 4th official for today's game is Usha, and match commissioner Adley Costa. When Odisha Sports have been on quite some high since that 9-1 win, and suddenly in the thick of that title track, and talking about the numbers and how many appearances or goals or assists and influence of players, you cannot look past Pyari, who has scored that wonderful hat-trick in the previous game, and Satyabati also scoring a brace. Ranjita Devi with the 2 skippers, Manisha Panna of Odisha Sports and the number 8 Karen of PIFA Sports Club. Now, the mark of a good manager is also how she eases in her new signings into the team. For Deepa, it has not been an easy settling period. She is on the bench and Aku is getting a start. But the way she responded exemplary for other players playing in the league as well. While for PIFA Sports Club, the style has been trumped by results. There was never a better example of that than their win against Hunts Women Football Club. And today they face a team who are on a high. And Odisha Sports unbeaten in 2 of their debut season. And talk about defending, and Zairam has been so integral to their rise to the top flight. And if you would have told Nirvan Shah that you will be in top 2 almost at the midpoint of the season, he would have probably sold his house. As we have seen, it's becoming a kind of a trend that newcomers in the Hero Indian Women's League always do well. I wonder what it is. It's either lack of expectation, or it is that they're completely surprising their opponents. In Odisha Sports, they are in red and black. PIFA Sports Club Colaba are in sky blue. Odisha Sports unperturbed at their home, but surely this one of those places to come and play football. For Odisha Sports, the recent form is certainly champion-like. Well, that has probably come too early for them. Entertaining football is certainly back at the Kalinga Stadium. Well, Odisha Sports' form has been as decent as the drop in that of PIFA Sports Club. And Gitanjali Khuntia made a decent start and has games in hand to shoot up the table
Instead, they have stagnated with a loss in the beginning. Finishing used to be a problem for Odisha Sports, not anymore though. Guaranteed goal and guaranteed entertainment, those are the just anti-words. As we know, nothing is quite guaranteed in the Hero Indian Women's League, especially this season. Some breathtaking football that we have seen, some unexpected results, lots of surprises whether we are in for another one or not. The next 90 minutes will decide that. And forgetting PIFA's run of result before the last game against Gokulam Kerala, but they proved their credentials. It's down to dogged defense and rugged attacking. For Odisha Sports, they seem to have warmed to the tactics of Gitanjali Kuntia, and it keeps to keep the pressure on the league leaders. It's kickoff then here at the Kalinga Stadium, and what a massive day lined up. This was not supposed to be so important, so it seemed on paper. As the table has taken shape, this day probably in the long run will define how the season pans out. This is Anjali, the goalkeeper of PIFA Sports. In Odisha Sports, they are in red and black, as I've mentioned. Coming on the back of a 9-1 victory against Silverton Sports Club. A brace from Satyabati, hat-trick from Pyari. Javamani also scoring a brace. A goal from Deepa as well. Deepa making way for Shubhadra Sahu in the starting lineup. Missing out due to an injury. Nisliya though of PIFA will be high in confidence, especially scoring that goal against Gokulam Kerala in the last encounter. She is PIFA Sports Club's highest goal scorer with 3 goals. Lalnun Siami the second highest scorer with 2. She is not in the playing 11, and Lalrin Muani is replacing her. And there's the number 4 Afreen with a long clearance. PIFA is slightly attacking tonight. They know they cannot settle for anything less than 3 points. Collecting 4 points from 4 matches, 2 losses, 1 win and a draw. They would love to better their position in the points table. On the flip side, Odisha Sports on 7 points from 4 matches with 2 draws, 1 loss and 2 victories. They lost by a solitary goal against Kickstart Football Club. In fact, it was Roja Devi scoring on the 89th minute mark. But Odisha Sports on the break, this is the number 9 Satyabati. Scored a brace in the last game, as I've mentioned, playing it behind to Javamani Tudu. She also scored a brace. Julie Kishan, which shows that they have scorers all around the park. When you have more scoring options, it just releases some pressure off the shoulders of the attackers. Satyabati with a long chase. The goalkeeper Anjali just sees it out. A great counter-attacking formation that makes it difficult for opposition to pass through the middle and forces them wide more often than not. And if teams are not set up to play this way, it can counter their strategy very well, as in this particular game. A great strategy, as it's flexible to move a 4-1-4-1 when you don't have the ball, asking the 2 wide players to track their fullbacks. And when attacking, you can quickly adapt to a 4-3-3 with the 2 wide players supporting the lone striker. And this does put more stress on the wide players, as they will need to attack and defend, getting up and down the pitch on a regular basis, which also makes it difficult a tactic to employ without the right players. Brought down. It's going to be a free kick in favor of PIFA. It was the number 10, Aku. Sunita goes long looking for Aku. Headed away. And there is Sumitra, the number 16. Trying to build move from the right is PIFA Sports Club Sanghi, the midfielder from Mizoram, Zaidam. She was slightly under pressure and compelled to play the ball quick. Possession is lost, and Sports Odisha, they have it back. They made a dream start to their campaign by defeating ARA Football Club by 3-1, and then played that 0-0 against Indian Arrows. Put up a strong fight against Kickstart. This is Aku losing out the physical battle against Sumitra. An early ball there. Gonna be easy for the goalkeeper. Talking about Odisha Sports, the central midfielders Supriya, Sumitra and Jashoda, very disciplined and work together well as a trio by controlling possession, supporting the attack and helping out in defense as well. Nisilia, she is one-on-one with Sunita Devi and easily goes past her. And then the floater towards the back post, kept alive in the middle, takes a tumble, Wazaku, nothing given. And they can throw on a counter here. Odisha Sports, well marshalled in the end. Sunita Devi, Nisilia playing a brilliant wall pass with the number 29, Lalwin Muani. There is Muani again at full stretch. A clearance from Manisha. There was Nirvan Shah going through a tough time. His team, the Mumbai Women's League champions. It's going to be the first corner kick of this game then, in favor of PIFA Sports Club. Corner taken shot. A ball sent in towards Lalrin Muani. Slightly awkward in the end. Javamani Tudu with a long clearance. Trying to get away from Javamani. Not succeeding. Stood her ground. Tul Julie from central midfield carrying the ball forward for Sports Odisha. Attempted through pass. This time she manages to get the pass away. The number 9 Satyabati. Continuing her run is Sumitra. And Zaidem getting in the way. And shielding the ball. And out for a goal kick. A specialized defensive or holding midfielder who sniffs out danger, covers gaps left by the fullback and helps the team to keep its shape. Even the wide players and the forwards who create width and depth to give the central midfielders enough space to influence the game. Satyabati, Zairem, this is Karen, the skipper. They were destroyed by Gokulam Kerala in the last game. And Gokulam Kerala also earlier in the day winning 8-0 against Mata Rukmani. The battle between a team placed 5th and a team placed 7th. And Odisha Sports can go to 10th. 10 points, rather, with a victory. They have won a couple of games already against Silverton Sports Club and ARA Football Club. And Nisilia, they're planning something off the training pitch. From the right edge of the penalty corner, swings her left foot. A couple of players in red going up for it. Danger is averted this time. And Odisha Sports are looking for a breakaway move. Plenty of cover behind from the team in sky blue, and that is PIFA Sports Club. The number 19, Jashoda. A searching ball for Pyari. Well seen there by Afreen. Sangi. 3 players in sky blue ahead of her. Drags it towards the touchline and eventually plays it out. Bhagyashri Devi. Bhagyashri Dalvi. Sumitra. I can't quite control it. Pyari. All eyes will be on Odisha Sports number 10. A scorer of that wonderful hat-trick. We saw plenty of hat-trick scorers already this season in the Hero Indian Women's League. Earlier in the day, El Chadai also was scoring a wonderful hat-trick. Manisha Kalyan also scored 5 goals in the past. Dangmei Grace as well. Even Sumila Chanu of SSB. A throw in taken very quickly. There's a defender behind her, marking too much weight on the cross. It's gone out of play. In fact, it was the number 6 Sunita Devi with the cross. The right full back trotting over to deliver the cross. Lots of passing options and angles for the players on the ball due to the focus on movement and space. The player on the ball should always have a number of options available to them, and this in turn helps the team to dominate possession. Getting caught inside her own area, Sangi. And now trying to release Satyabati. 3 players in red. One of them is Pyari waiting for it. Outside her is Supriya. Taking too much time on the ball, Satyabati. And eventually the ball is lost. And getting caught in a cul-de-sac. And Nisilia. Karen. Sangi. It's a good move from PIFA. Excellent shoulder to shoulder from Sumitra. Just not denying her space to make progress further. And in fact, it has gone out for a throw-in. This is looking good for PIFA. A very crucial intervention from the number 4, Julie Kishan. Almost a one-on-one chance had that not been intercepted by the number 4. Satyabati quickly onto the loose ball. That's a wonderful pass down the line. Jashoda, she's finding time and space on the left side. Is there, back to Satyabati. Not getting the elevation this time around. A good shape on the cross, and keeper fumbles and it has gone in. A goalkeeping howler. A complete misjudgment. And Odisha Sports take the lead. Jashoda giving them the much important start. What a goalkeeping howler from Anjali. completely misjudging the flight of the ball. This was the cross from Jashoda. An easy take for the keeper all day long, but she makes a mess out of it. Has it taken a deflection in the way is the question, but butterfingers from Anjali. And PIFA Sports Club, they have to pay the price. The first quarter of an hour gone here at the Kalinga Stadium. It's Odisha Sports 1, PIFA Sports Club Colaba 0. And once again, Satyabati, she is released. The marker is down on the deck. Once again, wrong choice from Satyabati. Pyari made her way into the middle. Zaidem again, receiving the first pass from the goalkeeper inside the 18-yard box. When you have a ball-playing defender, that is the most viable option to give possession from goal kick. Zaidem again surrounded by 3 red shirts. This time it's been deemed as a foul on PIFA Sports Club's number 24. Overwhelming the opposition with a potential 7 players rushing forward. 4-3-3 can be the mayhem of the defending team as a stream of people push up the field towards them. Disciplined players limit the formation's weakness if well drilled. One more cross sent in with good pace. Collected by Pyari. The layoff comfortable for the defender to clear. Comes right back in. Once again, another long clearance. Good strength from Julie. Lalrin Muani clashing onto a red shirt. Nisilia. Lalrin Muani running the ball up the pitch. Getting closer to the ball. This time is the number 17. Plays it infield for Supriya. Sangi clears. Lalrin Muani collects. A lofted pass. Javamani Tudu. Quickly closing down the gap. It's going to be an early change from PIFA. Jersey number 15. Hiba coming on for the number 28. That is Nikita Jadab. Given the fact that Nikita not been able to provide lots of avenues from the left hand side. Trying to up their tempo, PIFA. But the ball is into the feet of a red shirt, Pyari. Anjali. There's that high interception made by Supriya. Cannot find the right pass. Karen, the skipper of PIFA Sports Club, spreading it to the right. There's the chase from the right full back, Sunita Devi. And the ball just squeezing between a couple of players. A great takedown from Nisilia, but only helps Javamani Tudu to clear. Pyari not allowed to turn. Jashoda, what a ball from Jashoda! So unlucky Shubhadra Sahu. The ball just landing slightly behind her. She got one step on top of the ball. Went in slightly early, Shubhadra Sahu, flagged off. The opposition trying to take advantage of the space The team can be overloaded out wide if one of the central midfielders or wide forward doesn't help out the fullback. The team can surely dragged out of shape with midfielders and wide forwards having to cover the various gaps that the formation leaves, and they have to shift as a team and especially work as one unit. This is a very special movement from the left. Shubhadra Shahu playing it out. Oh, struggling to get the ball out of their own zone. And that was a very poor giveaway. Hiba with the shot. And there she is. A clearance from Rooney Nayak. Karen managing things in central midfield for PIFA. Getting involved in a tussle with Jashoda. A skillful play there. Hiba and Sunita Devi. And asking for it, Lalvin Muani. Well covered from Manisha. Pokes it forward, Pyari. Trying to take help from Sumitra. Pyari gets her head onto it. A desperate defending there from PIFA Sports. And this is Javamani Tudu going past Supriya. Nicely done there by Lalvin Moani. She got to look towards the left. Nisilia was in acres of space. Lost control of the ball in the end. Karen looking for players in support. Bhagyashri Dalvi knocking it towards Aku. Sangi didn't carry to the player on the far right. In attack-minded 4-3-3, the centre backs are the sole true defenders of the team, and they need to clearly convey any danger to the rest of the players on the team to ensure that they fulfill their defensive duties. They must work well as a unit with the two full-backs and the defensive holding midfielders in front in order to plug any gap and that attacking player leave behind them. This is Bhagyashri with a throw towards Lalrun Moani, well read there by Supriya. Tracking back to help her right full back Germany Tudu. And both the players complementing each other. And Germany. Shashmita playing it to Manisha. Not allowed to turn Sumitra. Slightly long. And eventually finding a red shirt. And now Pyari. She can turn on the afterburn. Pyari again down the middle. And got a player on the edge of the area. Tried to slip in the number 17. Checks inside. Kept alive and now arranges it for a long ranger. In it comes. And out it goes. A shot taken by Supriya. 5 shots already taken by Odisha Sports. Gitanjali Khuntia with some instructions. She will be happy. Her side is leading. Comes the shot in. Completely miscued. The number 19, Jashoda Munda, her goal is the difference maker in this game so far. A very patient build up from PIFA. Not trying to hurry things out. Slightly over Karen. And Nisilia's clearance only as far as Supriya. Another wave of attack coming up. And they will have to reorganize their books. Slightly heavy touch and almost getting caught out there. Aku applying that high pressure and winning the ball. Sensible. Excellent weight for Nisilia. Comfortable for Shashmita. Jevamani Tudu. Striding out of defense. A very, very poor giveaway to Aku. Her attempted pass intercepted by the number 4 Julie Kishan. PIFA Sports Club just struggling to enter the final third. This is the area where their passes are gone missing. Sashmita Parida. A handball committed by the number 17. That is Shubhadra Shahu. The referee has pointed towards the first drinks break of this evening. And it's Odisha Sports Club who are on the lead against PIFA. And Jashoda's goal separating the two teams in the first half. Still about 20 odd minutes remaining in this. In the air, they should win most of their headers and stop the opposition striker from controlling the ball and bringing their teammates into play. And although the primary is to defend, and offensive fullbacks who are confident on the ball can deliver a good cross are very important to the 4-3-3 formation. Odisha Sports also made a quick start in the last game against Sirvadim, finding the back of the net on 2nd minute mark. Satyabati Khadia struck from the left and sent the ball straight into the net. They continue to maintain a dominant show all across the game. In the 14th minute, Odisha doubled their lead with Satyabati adding a brace to her name. And ahead of the half an hour mark, Odisha made it 3-0 and Pyari pulled the trigger for Odisha this time. Shubhadra Shahu. The ball played into space, but too long for Satyabati. Sunita Devi. Her passes towards nobody. Quickly onto it. It's a player in grey. Call is for the keeper. Shashmida quickly off. Rooney Nayak. Pyari. Excellent covering from Afreen. And almost opened up for Satyabati. And no nonsense there from Zairam. Ahead of the half an hour mark, Odisha made it 3-0 and Pyari Zaza pulled the trigger for Odisha first time. The flag eventually stayed down. Pyari. This is Karen. Nasilia can spring on a counter here. PIFA taking the aerial route. Lalrin Muani with the chase. But Julie Kishan was there. Kept in play by Javamani Tudu. A good combination play here from Odisha Sports. This is the goal scorer Jashoda. Playing it safe to Supriya, her midfield partner. There's a release towards Satyabati. Swung in with a left footer, header from the edge of the area. Straight to Anjali. So half an hour gone here at the Kalinga Stadium. It's Odisha Sports leading by a solitary goal against PIFA. The side from Maharashtra up against the home team. And now lining up a diagonal. Satyabati. Instruction from the technical area to play the ball out of their own area as quickly as possible. And now Satyabati. A run being offered by Javamani. And down the right. A player from the near side as well in Satyabati. Javamani ignores her. Picking out Pyari. Pyari twisting and turning. And trying to do a lot of things on her own. Now Muani. Muhani has got Aku ahead of her. Taken away by Odisha Sports. There's the reverse ball for Pyari. Pyari takes a look towards goal and shoots. Gone wide for a goal kick. In the previous game after the breather, Silverton seemed a better side as they kept on creating chances. It was on the 53rd minute that Silverton got the breakthrough with Ernestina pulling one back from the spot kick. But things turned though for the Goan side as Odisha recorded 3 back-to-back goals in the 58, 59 and 61st minute, making it 7-1. Pyari, Jashoda and Deepa found the net respectively. And the flag has stayed down. Nisilia is onside. First time ball comes in. It's a decent cross. Attacking it down the right is Hiba. Still Hiba. Sangi. Just trying to create that gap for the cross. She's been nicked. And now Shubhadra. Odisha Sports. Attempted pass is cleared by Afreen. Sangi scoops it for Nisilia. And back to Sangi. And there's the press from behind. Javamani Tudu. A good strong play there from Bhagyashri. Urging her to do the throw in quick. Gonna be nodded back. Lining up a diagonal. Supriya's cross. Headed away by Afreen. Lalrin Muani. Zaidem. Julie. Zaidem does well to deal with the second ball, but all the aerial challenges are being faced by Afreen. Satyabati, she's got twinkle toes. Trying to destroy Nislia. There's a fine ball brought down by Pyari. Lay off. Another shot not on target. Ahead of the half an hour mark, Odisha made it 3-0 in the last game, and Pyari pulled off the trigger for Odisha this time. And the 37th minute, a howler from Silverdam Custodian, leading to the ball landing to Germany Tudu. And she did not make any mistake to slot it home. And going into the half time, Odisha Sports earned a 4-0 lead for themselves. And after the breather, Silverdam seemed a better side as they kept on creating chances. It was on the 53rd minute that Silverdam got their breakthrough, with Ernestina pulling one back from the spot. But the things turned though for the Goan side as Odisha scored 3 back-to-back goals in the 58, 59 and 61st minute, making it 7-1. Pyari Jashoda Deepa found the net respectively. Nisilia nicely tossing the ball around. Nisilia gets there before the number 4, Julie. Nisilia shows one way, goes the other. Still Nisilia. Challenge comes in. The PIFA Foundation for the Benefit of Sports was established back in 2007 with the intention of helping and the talented albeit less privileged children to develop as football players and keep them off the streets. The foundation aims to collect funds to sponsor children and youngsters in order to develop football players amongst underprivileged children. Injury to a Sports Odisha player. Meanwhile, we do hope she's all right. And that was the number 17, Shubhadra Shahu. Hiba sent in towards Nisilia. Lalrin Muani Karen getting numbers back behind the ball, and Rooney Naik. And now galloping forward is Odisha Sports. She's tripped from behind Pyari and nothing given. Get up, says the ref. A warning is also issued as well. One more time you go down like that, you will be booked for play acting. A good strong header. Jashoda, lean and lanky midfielder. Takes it to her left, then back onto her right. And Jashoda goes once more. And this time fails to hit the target. "11 shots taken by Odisha Sports in the first half. Only 1 on the flip side by PIFA. Got to steady herself up. Lalrin Muani. Lalrin Muani trying to get away from Germany Tudu. There was a trailing leg. It's going to be the first booking of the game as well. And a free kick for PIFA Sports Club. And that was Lalrin Muani. That was the incident that trailing right foot and bringing her down. And free kick from a very, very promising position for PIFA Sports Club. Can they equalize? 6 minutes of regulation time remaining in this half. A goal at this stage would do their confidence a world of good. It's Hiba on top of this free kick. Let's see what can she make of this. Hiba goes for the direct attempt. Here is the advertisement board behind the goal. Nirvan Shah back in 2006. They were looking to adopt a community-based team. The Colaba Youngsters FC approached them for sponsorship. And they helped them on condition that they would be partners and not only support them financially through PIFA Foundation for the benefit of sports, but also implement the PIFA coaching program and code of conduct. Nisilia still keeps hold of the ball. Past Sumitra. Sunita Devi. A fine challenge from Satyavati. A very committed piece of play by the right winger. And upon the PIFA, Colaba Football Club, they completed the head coach Nirvan Shah completed the UEFA B license from UK, and this helped in getting a structured technical and tactical aspect. Being a young squad, the players reacted very positively. There's the chipped attempt and high boot. Flag immediately went up against Piari for that high boot. A foul on Afrin. I'm gonna be Zaidam with the free kick again. Hina. All those mics installed in the technical area, making us comfortable to listen to the players live, what they communicate and even what the coaches say. We would be hoping the mics remains there for the rest of the season. A slight nudge from behind, battling for the ball. Shubhadra Shahu sent in a low cross, easily cleared by Afrin. Shubhadra. Just asking the goalkeeper to not play it top, not to play it high, just to keep possession. Build up from behind and passes outward is the exact word from Nirvan Shah. Asking her players to utilize the flank. Here Jashoda, her third try, maybe the fourth one. A free kick against Shubhadra Shahu. And Nisilia, she was asking for a foul. Referee didn't pay any heed to her appeals. 3 minutes of additional time in the first half. Sumitra, Rooney Nayak, Piari. That looks like a good move. Not the right kind of touches. Upon forming PIFA Colaba Football Club, he completed the UEFA B license from UK, and this helped him to getting in a structured program for both the team's technical and tactical aspects. Being a young squad, the players reacted positively and showed improvement at every training session. It was an integral part of their training, and they use the same tactical training for the under 13 academy program. Supriya, Shahu, and Irwan Shah just asking her players to go for man-to-man marking. A minute and a half remaining in this half. Nodded back into the area. Sangi with the clearance. Nisilia comes straight to the Sports Kerala defender. She is beautifully nutmegged. Shubhadra Shahu shifting wings and now playing from the right. Satyavati, which means goes to the left. There's Nisilia. Tried to slip the pass through and not managing to do so. And now free kick for Afrin. Placing the ball in the halfway area and nodded towards the penalty spot. And that's the half-time whistle from Ranjita. Brings the first half to an end. Odisha Sports go into the break with a narrow 1-0 lead. Thanks to the strike from Jashoda. The number 19 who went for the cross, eventually the shot turning in. And Anjali and not been able to capitalize it, not been able to collect it. The ball eventually just slipping between her gloves and landing into the back of the net. The first half has been devoid of chances on that count. And PIFA Sports Club failed to create any openings in the first half. These are the first half stats. 55-45 ball possession. 11 shots taken by Odisha Sports, 3 on target. They've committed 8 fouls. 2 corner kicks won by PIFA. Not been able to convert any one of them. These are the number of shots taken by PIFA in the first half, only 2. 1 each from Bhagyashri and Hiba. The other number of shots taken by Odisha Sports, 11. The dominating side in the first half. Satyabati with 2, Jashoda with 2, Piari with 2. Sumitra Hemram, Supriya, and Germany Tudu with one each. And now we will have a look at the number of fouls committed by PIFA Sports Club in the first half. None. And Odisha Sports committed 8 fouls. Shubhadra Shahu with 4, Germany Tudu with 2, Rooney Nayak and Pyari with 1 each. And now let's have a look at the first half highlights. The game number 27 between PIFA Sports Club and Sports Odisha, the home side. And this was the goal. Attempted cross, taking a massive dip, keeper slightly advanced, not managing to deal with the ball, just had to punch it out, and eventually turning it into her own net. And this time the shot had no conviction. A mistimed effort from Supriya. Pyari taking it on the turn, nowhere near to the goal. A header from outside the box, straight to the keeper. As a fine run made by Satyabati. Just can't hit the target, narrowly missing out. And the free kick from Hiba goes over. And that's the half-time scoreline is PIFA Sports Club nil, Odisha Sports 1. We'll come back shortly after the break. And welcome back to the second half, and you are watching the Hero Indian Women's League 2021-22 live on Eurosport. It is match number 27 between PIFA and Odisha Sports. It is the home side leading by 1-0. And in case you are here, make sure you spread the word on social media. Matches are streamed live on the YouTube channel of the Indian football team. No such entertainment and goalmouth actions. Only once Jashoda's cross going in and Satya's header went wide narrowly. Apart from that, it's been a timid affair. On the flip side, as PIFA Sports Club failed to muster up anything going forward. For Odisha Sports, a couple of mazy runs down the right from Jashoda. Satyabati as well, shifting wings and try to make something happen. She is going through a rich vein of form along with her strike partner Pyari in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. Pyari, of course, high in confidence after scoring the hat-trick, and so has this player, the number 19, Nisilia of PIFA. She scored a wonderful hat-trick she scored a goal, against Gokulam Kerala in the last game. And scoring against Gokulam is not a matter of joke. The Malabarians just conceded 1 goal in 5 matches, and they have conceded in the Indian football domestic league after a span of 2 years. It speaks volumes about the potential, about the depth in their team. And referee blows the whistle, and we are underway with the second half. It is the team in sky blue, that is PIFA Sports Club, will be operating from the left to right of your screen, and the team in red and black strips is Odisha Sports, will be operating from the right to left. Straight away PIFA trying to make something happen, putting a ball into the penalty area. It was cleared by Rooney Nayak, the left full back. She will have her task cut out tonight against the likes of Hiba. There she is with a touch behind. It is the number 6. Lost sight of the ball, wins it back. It's an excellent battle going on between Rooney and the number 6, Sunita Devi. And now a counter could be on down the middle, space down the right. The number 10, Pyari, is waiting. The number 17 steaming in. Room for the shot, and it's side netting. The number 17 was steaming inside Shubhadra Shahu. She had options in the middle and also on the far side. Eventually taking on the left full back, creating half a yard for the shot, getting the shot away. Heading the side netting. There's the ball. Karen. Well done there. A slightly heavy touch, managing to recover. The pace of the game in the second half has picked up. Javamani Tudu. Aku. Oh, that's an excellent through pass for Nisilia. Aku is now making her way into the box, and so is the number 29, Lalrin Muani. Nisilia took a tumble, and now she's back on her feet. Jockeying her is the number 12, Javamani Tudu. And eventually back with the ball is Odisha Sports, is the goal scorer Jashoda with her long strides. Shifting it to the right. She will take it towards the byline. There's the cross. Gone out of play. And goal kick for PIFA. And the team was enrolled. 2 youth teams for the MDFA League and under 15 and under 19 team for the first time since 2009 and 10 in the 4th and 5th division, as PIFA Colaba FC's under 15 and under 19 respectively earned a promotion to the 3rd division, while the under 19 team finished 3rd in the promotion playoff. And the QRP talent hunt was won by PIFA student Hussein Vanvati of St. Mary's ICSC. And the top girl was Ria Jaffa of Hill Spring International School. And the PIFA boys will come back to that. Nisilia with a golden chance for an equalizer. She has blazed it over the top. Not in control of the shot. It was bobbing in the area. She struck under the ball. Couldn't quite apply the right technique. The number 19. That was a golden chance for an equalizer for PIFA. The Maharashtra State girls back in 2008-9 came second in the AIFF National Football Festival, while Maharashtra under 14 boys came third in the 54th National School Games 2009. Both teams were coached by Nirvan Shah. There's an open chance. The captain Karen. It's cleared off the line. In fact, 3 players in red was covering the goal. No power in the shot. And back-to-back chances for PIFA Sports Club. And on this occasion, the skipper Karen Pies should have slotted it home. And no power behind the shot. The keeper is getting treated. And after a jubilant 9-1 victory in the previous Hero Indian Women's League game, Odisha Sports taking on PIFA Sports Club. It is an evenly contested game, especially the first 5 minutes of the second half. And ahead of the match, PIFA Sports Club head coach Nirvan Shah spoke about his expectations and shed light on his side's season so far. It's going to be a tough game, and Odisha Sports playing at home. They've been turning as a team for a very, very long time. Well settled and used to these conditions. He further added he's happy the way the girls showed a lot of character against Gokulam Kerala. He already knew it's going to be really very tough against Gokulam. But still, the PIFA players had a disappointing result. Were not been able to pick the full 3 points against Silverdam Sports Club as well. But they'll have to start picking up points now. Rooney Naik, Shubhadra, slightly loose from the number 6, and Shubhadra Shahu. She is on the run. An early release from her, making it comfortable for Afreen to defend. Sunita Devi as well. She's made the most number of interceptions in this game for PIFA. Wriggles out of the tight area. Pyari is crossing. Player comes in from behind. Can it be her breast for this evening? Well, what a moment for Odisha Sports. It was Jashoda again. Ball sent back into the danger area. Attempted flick on from Shahu. Shahu onto the loose ball very quickly. Hiba struggling to deal with Odisha Sports number 17. Really giving a tough time. This is Pyari. Rooney Naik. Shahu. Good strong challenge there from Maku. So much involved while defending. Nirvan Shah will be happy if she is more involved while attacking. And that's a good run from Lalrin Muani. She is accelerating. An excellent piece of defending there from Julie Kishan. Brought her body in between the man and the ball. Excellent technique applied. And now comes in from the blind side again, Nisilia. She is a very tricky customer. She's got excellent pace. And now bombing down the right, Satyabati. And Jashoda is free in the middle. Ahead of her. And down the right is Pyari. Picks out the former, who goes for the glory shot. And no joy this time around. And the PIFA Foundation, the benefit of sports, was established way back in 2027 with the intention of helping the talented albeit less privileged children to develop football players and keep them off the streets. Provided them with the kit, shoes, shin pads, taught them a life skill, coaching, administration, marketing, and made them independent. Provided them guidance and counseling, helped them participate in tournaments in other cities, and empower them to stand up against abuse, an opportunity to be selected for the state and get meaningful employment. To earn a good salary by being selected by an I-League team, the foundation is working with over 20 children aged 10 to 16 years from Colaba, and that attempt from Pyari is acknowledged from the fans in the stands. Very limited numbers though in the VIP area, only few of them applauding that attempt from Pyari. And Nasilia waiting for support, and it comes in the form of Lalwin Muani. Comfortably playing it out between the lines. Odisha Sports. The flair which was missing from the gameplay during the opening stages are quite visible as the season is progressing. This team is gelling very well, and the combination and understanding among the players also developing. The champions of the Odisha League, two teams from Odisha participating in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. One of them is the Odisha Police. It's given away very cheaply. Again went for that attempt. And sometimes Satyabati got to think clever. There was a Jashoda available. 10 minutes into the second half. It's still 1-0. No change in the score line. It's a very poor clearance. Not on target, thankfully, for Anjali. A very poor giveaway from Zairam to Satyabati. Hiba. Some interesting matches also coming up tomorrow, where the Delhi-based Hans Women Football Club, they will take on ARAFC. Gujarat and Delhi will be taking on each other at the Capital Ground. That game is slated for 3:30 p.m. kickoff. There's the cross, comfortable for Shashmita Pareda. And the second game of the day is going to be between Sirvadam Sports Club and Sethu Madurai. And after Gokulam Kaila's victory earlier in the day, it is imperative for Sethu Madurai to win against Sirvadam Sports Club, which most likely they should, to stay relevant in the title race. A gap opening up down the middle. There was option on the right as well. Hiba, she had a lot of space. Number 16 with a very clever pass. Pyari. Pyari running horizontally. A weak attempt. Completely scuffed it to number 10. Slightly out of Lalrin Moani's reach. Had to work hard to bring the ball under control. Is Sumitra. Sumitra to Supriya. Nicely seen that gap. Well closed down by Afreen. And now Lalrin Moani. It's turning out to be a very exciting battle between Lalrin Moani and Jawamani Tudu. A player is getting changed. It's gonna be the number 29 of PIFA who will come off. Lalrin Moani is the player, and in comes number 16 Muriel Adam. She is another exciting forward, making the second change of this game. Wonderfully done. Threads it into the feet of Pyari. And now Jashoda gives it to Jawamani Tudu. Lifting it up into the box. Was looking for Pyari Zaza. Straight to Anjali. No damage done on this occasion. Pyari chesting it down. Only the number 14 getting there. Bhagyashri Dalvi. Corner kick for Odisha Sports. PIFA Colaba team. They finally ended up playing in the elite division. And they did an exceptional job. The 19 team plays in the first division. Being a young squad, the players reacted positively and showed improvement at every training session. Meanwhile, PIFA will have to defend this corner. They're very much in the game. What a reaction save, but the follow-up has gone in. And Odisha Sports, they have doubled their money within the first 15 minutes of the second half. And this time it's Shubhadra Shahu. And that was the ball. And brought down by Pyari. Shot from Sumitra. Excellent reaction save from Anjali. But the follow-up shot turned home from close range by Shubhadra Shahu. And it's 2-0 for Odisha Sports. Has been very, very functional, this player. It's number 19, Jashoda. Here is Sasmita. In the second half, having a very safe game so far. Untroubled. Excellent skillful play from the goal scorer Shahu. Rooney Nayak looks up in the middle. Pyari is the target. A header from Afreen. Strong enough. Not getting enough distance. It's retrieved in midfield. Supriya switching it to the right. Takes help from the right fullback Jawamani Tudu. Good possession football from Odisha Sports. Tudu again. She got on the score sheet. In the last game against Silverdam, she scored 2 goals in fact. That must have hurt Zairam. A clang of shin pads against shin pads. She seems to be in great agony. That's Gitanjali. Will be highly impressed with the way her team have performed so far. Talking about Odisha sports, Samantarai also expressed her opinion ahead of the game. Their thoughts are clear: maintaining the winning run and coming back with 3 points. They are not happy with the start to the Hero Indian Women's League season, and the loss against Kickstart has changed the whole calculation for them. Shaping up for another. A cross is dropped into the box. Pyari resisting couple of challenges. Disappointing from Shubhadra Shahu. Odisha Sports in the last game made things difficult for the Goan side, as they scored 3 back-to-back goals, as I've mentioned already. And the goal shower continued as Jashoda Munda earned a brace for herself in the 63rd minute, making it 8-1 for Odisha Sports. And finally, in the 90 plus 3 minutes of added time, Pyari bagged the winner for her, making it a hat-trick for herself from a free space inside the box. And after the win, Odisha Sports is 4th in the league table with 7 points from 4 matches. It's going to be back-to-back wins for them. If the scoreline ends this way tonight at the Kalinga Stadium, it will take them to 10 points. Going to be their 3rd victory. Oh! A very big error from the goalkeeper. It's an empty net! And capitalized. 3-0 Odisha Sports. Shubhadra Shahu with the brace. A big error from Anjali. She can't afford to do that, especially with a defender. At present, she was already covering Afreen, giving it away. And then the number 10, Pyari, just a little layoff for Shubhadra Shahu. She finishing it off in style on the half turn from about 20 yards out. It's curtains for PIFA Sports Club. It's going to be their 2nd successive defeat. Their 3rd of this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. That will keep them on 4 points from 5 games to 7th. They could even drop depending on results of tomorrow's matches. But on the 7:30 p.m. one gonna be the big one. Setu Madurai against Sirvadam Sports Club. And now leaning into a defender to keep her balance. Protecting their positions very well. Odisha Sports, they are not in a hurry on a 3 goals lead. Rooney Nayak again. Making that anticipation. Zairem. Afreen. Look at the press from Odisha Sports despite being 3-0 up. They are not done yet. Would try to score as many and improve on their goal difference. Goal difference going to be very, very crucial in the Hero Indian Women's League this season. A ball into no man's land. Again, a 50-50 situation. And Anjali, she knows it. Gonna be a change in goalkeeper. Nirvan Shah getting ready. Kiangte, the number 20. Another player from Mizoram. 3 players from Mizoram, in fact, in this PIFA Sports Club setup. Even Tete Hammer during the pre-match studio also mentioned how Mizoram Football Association are really working hard in developing women's football in the state. They were planning to have a structured league from the new season. 2 changes, in fact, getting ready. It's gonna be mystery. The number 21 and the goalkeeper, Lalrin Zwali Kiangte. And coming off is the number 6, Sunita Devi. Had a terrible evening here at the Kalinga Stadium. Anjali, we all know she is a much better goalkeeper than that. And just a bad day in the office for her. And it happens with every professional player. You just got to forget about it. Every new day marks a new beginning. And Anjali got to make sure she puts it behind her and puts up a strong show when she starts again for PIFA. Piari. Very congested at the middle. A nice clearance there from Manisha. And the skipper of Odisha Sports. This is a defensive phase now from the team in red and black. A cautious 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. It can be a starting formation, but really it is. When defending and then counter-attacking, the formation has a flexibility to become... Oh, that's a strong shot. A first shot on target from PIFA. It was their skipper, Karen, testing Sashmita for the very first time in this game, and they need a lot more of that. PIFA. And now charging through was Piari. Not getting enough support on this occasion. Aku. Manisha. Supriya. Asking for support, getting time instead. An early cross. In fact, it's the number 30, the goalkeeper, Payal Basude, who's come on, not Kiangte. My bad. There are 2 goalkeepers in the reserve bench of PIFA Sports Club. In fact, Payal Basude is the player who's been brought on. Threading it through. Germany to do with the clearance. And the referee calls for the drinks break. We get into the second drinks break of this evening here at the Kalinga Stadium, and it's 3-0 in favour of Odisha Sports with goals from Shubhadra Shahu, Jashoda and Jevamani Tudu. Shubhadra Shahu with the brace, in fact. And Jevamani Tudu was booked in the first half for a reckless challenge. Central defenders are very attack-minded of Odisha Sports. They are the sole true defenders of the team. They need to be clearly conveying any danger to the rest of the players to ensure they fulfill their defensive duties. Some confusion. Hiba. Oh, high boot there from Aku. Referee says play on. Looking to make that lung-busting run, but no space for any such run for the number 6. So we are into the last quarter of the game then. We witnessed 8 goals in the game between Gokulam Kerala and Mata Rukmani, and 3 goals in this one. Most of the matches in the Hero Indian Women's League have been high scoring. Gokulam Kerala almost completing half of their matches. There's a very poor clearance. A stray one, in fact, from Zairam. Straight into the path of Shubhadra Shahu. And almost completing a hat-trick. Their defense in 6s and 7s. Shubhadra needs a treatment. Landed awkwardly onto her lower back. And the stretcher is out. That was the clearance. Untidy one instead. This time goalkeeper just narrowing down the angle and denying Shubhadra Shahu. A very poor clearance from Bhagyashri Dalvi. Rooney. Still Rooney. And she keeps going. Now puts a break on her run. Manisha. The ball just getting stuck under her feet. Played back to the goalkeeper, Shashmita. Shahu. Oh, left her down on the floor. Brilliant play, beautiful skills. In comes the shot. Not on target from Jashoda. A brilliant link-up play. Trying to penetrate their way forward. Odisha Sports every time. Those two looking to combine. Pyari and Shubhadra. Afreen. Given away. It's cleared into touch. It's going to be the first change for Odisha Sports. It's the number 26, Joshna Lakra. She will be coming on, and going off is Satyavati. She was slightly off colour in the second half, Satyavati. Missed her mazy runs. Ball sent in towards Pyari, brought down, shot comes in. Saved this time by the goalkeeper Payal. Excellent takedown there from the number 10 Pyari inside the box, getting it out of her feet on time. Went straight at a pile, just inviting the number 21 to go for the challenge, and she takes the invitation. A mystery. And both the teams winning a couple of corners each. Rooney Nayak, the left footer, away from the goalkeeper, and out of play though. And the second ball, they need to hold off the striker, stop them from getting past, and give the rest of the team enough time to get back in possession. And if the ball reaches them from behind the opponent's defense, the fullback should attempt to put in a good cross for the central striker. That is quite missing. And if the pass done does not come, then the decoy run has helped drag the opposition's defenders out of position. We witnessed this already in Odisha Sports gameplay. And now from the long way out, easy collection for Pyle. Oh, heavy touch, and that sound, a terrible sound. The ball just striking the boot. And Jashoda bearing down on goal, beautifully slipped in. Pyari. Once again, Pyle coming out in time, trying to knock the player one way and skipping past her from the other. Shahu. Jashoda Shahu inside the box. She got to play it towards the number 17, takes it out wide onto her left side. Easily dealt with by Zairem. A clearance falls straight to Supriya. Still Supriya on the turn. There's the low cross. Not creative enough to cause any danger. Hot on the heels of Bhagyashri, and number 26 Joshna Lakra. She's just come on. Beautifully marshalled on this occasion. Not much time remaining in this game. Only 7 odd minutes of regulation time, and about 10 minutes if you take into consideration the added minutes, and about 10 minutes remaining in this game. And no signs of improvements from PIFA Sports Club. They have given up the fight, accepted the result. Good work there this time from Zairem. Didn't allow the ball to travel to Pyari. Aku. She's been outnumbered in the midfield region. Hiba. Just working the ball from side to side. No such threats, no such adventurous moves. Only one occasion where they kept the shot on target. Lots of mistimed clearances from Zairem. Time and again she's caught out of position. All this margins do make a lot of difference. And there's once again the number 16. Option to the left and right. Ahead of her is a number 10. She can round the goalkeeper. She went to square it instead. Shahu is interested. There's that quick interchange. Nisilia. It's 4-on-2. And now shirts in sky blue arriving. And Hiba's cross. Headed away. Comes back to Aku. And now rushing forward. Odisha Sports, skillful play. Skipping past two challenges. And Nasilia. And now she's got space. A 3 waiting in the middle. She misplaced it rather. Rooney Naik. Coming central from her left full back's position. And now the players in red got to drop. But exceptional positioning time and again from Manisha, Julie Kishan, Shubhadra Shahu. Seems like gonna be the hero of the match of this evening for scoring a wonderful brace. She affected the game in both ways, attackingly as well as defensively. It's been a very windy evening here in Bhubaneswar. Zairem's a firm header away. Shubhadra Shahu. Change getting ready for Sports Odisha. It's gonna be the second of this evening. Soni Behra coming in place of Supriya. PIFA trying hard for a consolation goal. Oh, beautifully closed down from Hiba. Hiba from the right. Can she power her way past Rooney? Yes, she can. The cross is cleared away out of the danger area by Julie. Checking her watch. Gitanjali Samantare. Zairem goes for the first bud. Loses out her marker. It's a beautiful ball. Jashoda. Soni. Couldn't get a touch. Manisha. And now plays it towards Pyari. It's a great takedown. Josna also making that run. And the keeper. And that was well within her range. Sangi. Sumitra. This is the number 16 this time of PIFA. Muriel Adam. Aku. Hima was in space. Didn't look towards the number 15. Pyari taking it into her stride. can launch a very quick counter attack. Odisha Sports through the number 19 Jashoda. Jashoda, nicely done there. Turning away from her marker, squaring it beautifully. An excellent defending, this time by PIFA Sports Club. Additional time of 3 minutes. Cross from deep. Clearing the lines. Hiba came on in the first half. Sunita Devi had to be taken off early in the second half. The clearance comes off a red shirt, and now she could run for the hills here, brought down. And then again, regaining her balance, Shahu. Decision in favor of PIFA Sports Club. It's a throw in. Mistry. Backing into Mistry. Turning away from Sangi and down spinning away from Karen. Gets the shot away. It was Pyari. Hugging the ball to chest. Pile. Just a couple of minutes away from victory. Odisha Sports. Pyari completely free in the middle is the number 19. And Shahu at the back post lost her footing in the end, allowing the defender to make a challenge and close her down. Janabi Kishan is going to be the third change made by Odisha Sports. Janabi Kishan comes on for Sumitra. Sumitra Hemram goes off. Pyari. Sony. Well within shooting range. Was that a shot or a pass? Will be debatable. Last 50 seconds of this game then. Karen Pius picks up the loose pieces. A stretching play from the flanks. Hiba. Julie. Rooney will clear, which she does. And now she can charge at defenders. One last foray before the full-time whistle. Beautiful footwork from Pyari. Fancy footwork by the number 10. Who didn't get on the score sheet, but very much impressed with her strength up top. And bringing down the aerial balls. Using her strength brilliantly. It's going to be the last move of the game then. Shashmita. Referee has taken the whistle in her mouth and she blows the full-time whistle. And Odisha Sports with a comprehensive victory tonight against PIFA Sports Club. A win here taking them to 10 points from 5 matches. Their third victory after a loss and a draw. Their second on trot. Will be very much happy with their display even against Kickstarts. They did fight till the last minute. Also played a 0-0 against the Arrows. Their only loss coming into the hands of Kickstart. Apart from that, they've been defensively a very, very solid side. Conceding only 3 goals in 5 games. And they have scored 15. A commendable performance by the team in red and black. And for PIFA Sports Club, their humiliation continues. 6-1 in the last game against Gokulam, and now 3-0 tonight. They need something special to come out of the slumber. And now time for the hero of the match. It's gonna be the number 17, Shubhadra Shahu of Odisha Sports, handed a check of 5,000 rupees, sponsored by Hero Motorcorp Limited. Well deserved. And this is the full-time scoreline. It's PIFA Sports Club nil, Odisha Sports 3. And now we'll have a look at the match stats. 59% possession of Odisha. They have dominated throughout the game. 10 fouls committed, 11 shots on target, 24 in total taken. The only column, the corners won. It's even Stevens. Each team winning 2 corners each. 3 shots taken by PIFA in this game. Bhagyashri, Hiba and Karen with 1 each. Uh, 24 shots taken by Odisha Sports, 7 by Jashoda Munda. Pyari with 6, Shubhadra Sahu with 5, 3 by Satyabadi, and 1 each by Sumitra Henbram, Supriya and Javamani Tudu. And now we'll have a look at the fouls committed by PIFA in this game. They've committed no fouls in this game. It's been a very tidy presentation of football. The 10 fouls committed by Odisha Sports. They really worked hard. They fight for every ball in midfield. Wins them as well. And now let's get into the highlights of this game between PIFA Sports Club and Odisha Sports. Match number 27, kicking off at the Kalinga Stadium. The opening day of round 5. That was the first goal of the game from Jashoda. Keeper making a hash out of it. Anjali. This was the opening goal, and then the shot. A stray one. A set up from Pyari. Directed goalwards. On the half turn, not on target. The high cross sent in, header from outside the box straight to the keeper. And this was Satyabati getting very, very closer. And Hiba's free kick went over. The second half started the same way. An early chance for PIFA on this occasion, but Karen, her shot was saved on the line. And Jashoda with a golden chance to double her tally. And nodded by Pyari, shot saved, and the follow-up turned in by Shubhadra Shahu, making it 2-0 for Odisha Sports of this evening. And then this error from the goalkeeper Anjali, and on the turn, finishing it off, and getting the return from the number 10 Pyari, and on the half turn, bulging the net was the number 17 Shubhadra Shahu, who is also today's hero of the match. It was the last chance for Pyari. Another through pass, 50-50, tried to round the keeper. And Jashoda squaring it and cleared away by the left full back, and Pyari with the last attempt straight at the goalkeeper. This is how it has ended at the Kalinga Stadium. It's PIFA Sports Club nil, Odisha Sports 3. Thanks for joining us, and good night.